SportsDesk. The bronze medal would be golden for Canada at the World Junior Championship, while the Czechs were dishing them out against the Russians in the gold medal game. This was just the tip of the iceberg for the Caps against the Habs, and the Senators were using their heads to avoid the eye of the hurricane. It was billed as a battle of then and now, but Tracy McGrady tried to steal the show for the Raptors against Portland, while the Grizzlies hoped to stay just out of the Heat's reach. Virginia Tech does the hokey pokey and turns itself around. That's what the Sugar Bowl was all about. Bill Belichick says thanks, but no thanks, and leaves the Jets with a vacancy. We're standing on our heads to bring you all the action. SportsDesk is next. Yes. Welcome, everybody, to the TSN newsroom in this edition of SportsDesk. Dave Randolph along with Gino Retta.
It is nice to have you with us today. All right, so at the World Junior Hockey Championships, the round robins taken care of.
Done.
Semifinals taken care of. On Tuesday, they played the gold medal and the bronze medal game.
Yeah, and that's where we're going to begin with our World Junior Report brought to you by Castrol Syntec. And all right, the gold medal was gone. So was the silver, for that matter. Bronze was the only color up for grabs as Canada took on the U.S. And while that may not be good enough for some in this country, it sure beats coming home with nothing, and that was the focus for our guys Tuesday in Sweden, where Brian Finley got the start for Canada, his first action in the tournament. Canada looking for a spark, but it was the States that came out flying, already up 1-0. Then Dan Cavanaugh makes it 2-0 as his shot deflects off Matt Kinch. And the States came out ready to go, but Canada doesn't fold, down 2-1. Here comes Mark Bell, all alone on Philippe Sauvé, but he's stoned by the American netminder. Canada does tie it, though. 7.5 minutes into the third, Chris Nielsen steps out from the corner. He eludes the poke check and then slides it home, and we are all tied at 2. Then Canada gets a great chance to take the lead. It's a carbon copy for Bell, this time going the other way. But again, Sauvé gets the better of him, and it remains 2-2. However, Canada does take the lead for the first time on the power play. Danny Heatley's shot deflects, and Canada now led it 3-2. However, Kyle Rossner sent off for high sticking, and the Americans take advantage. Their 10th power play of the game. Jordan Leopold, the blast from the point, finds the back of the net. We're all tied again and going into OT. And in overtime, nice save by Finley as he also covers up the rebound. Overtime settled nothing. We got ourselves a shootout. And here comes Jamie Lundmark, first shooter for Canada, and he draws first blood. Then with Canada up 2-1 in the shootout, Danny Heatley moves in. 5-hole, make it 3-1 for Canada. And it was turned over to Brian Finley. And look at the glove save he makes on Tafey. Canada was now in control. It was all up to Dan Cavanaugh for the U.S. to keep them alive, but Finley shut him down with the right pad, and that was that. The Canadians celebrate a victory in the shootout and clinch the bronze medal. They medaled for the second straight year after earning that silver in Winnipeg last year. They killed off 9 of 10 penalties. Yeah, playing for bronze was a different mindset, but they got the job done.
We knew it was going to be tough getting going. That's one of the things we try to do coming in is get excited, but after the first period we were pretty flat, and it took us, I think, midway through the second and the third period to get going, but by that time it was just we were just going all cylinders and everything was going well.
I was worried about being a little rusty, but the defense played great in front of me, limited the quality shots, and we worked hard all game. We had some tough calls against us, a lot of penalty kills we had to do, but overall we worked hard and it paid off in the end.
As national junior members, this is our last opportunity to do something with the program, and everybody always says that puts the jersey on. It's always an honor, and our next opportunity could be the Olympics, could be a national team somewhere, but we were proud tonight going out there, and a lot of us realize that it's not an opportunity you get too often, so we made the best of it.
To the Czech Republic facing Russia in the gold medal game. These two teams have never met each other for the gold at this tournament. First period, Evgeny Maratov with his head down. Yaroslav Sloboda makes him pay for it. Still scoreless in the second. Russia's initial shot stopped by Zdeněk Šmíd. The rebound to Maratov, who spins, fires. Šmíd stops that as well. And finally, they clear the puck away harmlessly. Still scoreless to regulation. Tom Rennie and Claude Julien watching as this one goes to a shootout as well. In the shootout, even at 1, Milan Kraft for the Czech scores. It's 2-1 for the Czech Republic. And for the next shooter, Russia changes goaltenders to Alexei Volkov. Zdeněk Ergel for the Czechs, stopped by Volkov. Russia now on its 5th shooter. It's still 2-1. They must score. Evgeny Fedorov is stopped by Zdeněk Šmíd. The Czech Republic wins its first ever gold medal at the World Juniors. Wow. The heavily favored Russian size has to settle for the silver medal. Russian goaltender Ilya Birzagolov stopped 46 shots in regulation and overtime, and it was still not enough to defeat the Czech Republic. This is quite the accomplishment for the Czechs, who won their first ever gold medal at the World Junior Hockey Tournament. They had taken 5 silver, 5 bronze as Czechoslovakia in the past. Remember, they're also coming off a gold medal at the World Championship and a gold at the Winter Olympics, so they can make a good argument for themselves as being the best hockey nation in the world right now. All right, to the NHL, and the Ottawa Senators, Václav Prospal says he's remorseful. He's apologized to Patrice Brisebois, to French Canadians as a whole, and also to his teammates. But Prospal may still face disciplinary action from the league anyway. The Ottawa center admits he called Brisebois an expletive frog in a game on December the 27th. Prospal says since he's European, he may not fully understand the effect of his comments. The league is now investigating the matter. In the meantime, Brisebois, who has 10 points in his last 10 games, was focusing on the Washington Capitals. First period, Montreal on the power play. Craig Berube with the shot. Stop. Benoit Brunet. Stop. Sergei Zoltak side of the net is not stopped. It is 1-0 for the Habs. Cavs answer on the power play. Peter Bondra to Sergei Gonchar. He blasts it past Jeff Hackett. It's even at 1. Minutes later, Caps take the lead. Jeff Toms turns and fires. It goes off Shane Corson and into his own net. Tom's first of the season, 2-1 Caps. Second period, Andrei Nikolic, a nice pass to Gonchar, and Gonchar will find the back of the net for his second of the night. It's 3-1 for the Caps. Caps poured it on. Chris Simon will tip Adam Oates' shot. His 9th, Caps lead 4-1. So in the second period, Steve Konowalchuk passes it to Jan Bullis. His pass goes to Sergei Gonchar. Gonchar with the wide open cage puts it in. Hat trick for Gonchar. The Caps lead at 5-1 at that point. They add one more to go on to an easy 6-1 victory over the Montreal Canadiens. So the Canadiens lose in Washington for the first time since April of 1997.
Meantime, here is Prospal and the Senators on the road taking on the Hurricanes, picking up in the first period. Igor Kravchuk, the guy at the high point here, takes the shot, deflects right to Sean McEachern, but he can't score from a sharp angle. The Canes dominating in the physical play. Andrei Kovalenko with a dangerous hit on Jason York. Then Jeff O'Neill in open ice lowers the boom on Magnus Arvidsson. That's a good hit. No score after 1. And Paul Maurice over there on that Carolina bench who said, boys, I'd like a little offense, actually. Gary Roberts, look at the move he puts on Traverse, but Patrick Lalime got him with the glove. Now, keep your eyes on this one. It goes bouncing around all over the place here. It finally went off of McEachern's head and in. They'll take it 1-0 Sens. Third period, Sens breakout. Kravchuk to Sean Van Allen, who used a decoy but shot and scored. 2-1 Sens. That turned out to be the game winner as Patrick Lalime provided some strong goaltending for the Sens on the road. And Carolina loses to Ottawa for the first time in 11 games at home.
All right, David, to the Coyotes and the Red Wings. Detroit, unbeaten in its last 7 home games. Last team to win there, Phoenix. First period, Wings on the power play. Sergei Fedorov sets up Larry Murphy. He beats Bob Essensa, and it's 1-0 Detroit. Immediately after that goal, Essensa leaves the ice with a sprained hamstring. Robert Esch replaces him in net. Second period, Dallas Drake feeds Shane Doan. He roofs it. With that, this game's tied at 1. And then with the Wings on the power play, Juha Jalonen cuts in the middle, beats Chris Osgood. Coyotes lead 2-1 after 2. Third period, Coyotes on the power play. Jyrki Lumme will take the shot, and Doan redirects it in. 3-1 Coyotes. Dallas Drake then will go to Jeremy Roenick, and Jeremy Roenick converts with his 20th. That one is probably amongst the easiest of the 20 he scored. The Coyotes hang on to win it by a final of 5-2. The Red Wings' 7-game home winning streak is now over. They are 0-2-1 in their last 3 games overall. David?
Good road win for the Coyotes. J.D. McLennan getting the start for the Blues as Roman Turek gets the night off. They're hosting the Kings. First period. Pass goes through Todd Reardon's legs, but he turns around, puts it on the net. Scott Pellerin is the guy that pounces on the rebound to make it 1-0, and the Blues are looking for more. Pellerin to Scott Young, who just can't find the handle on that one. It remained 1-0. Second period, Mondry beats Bob Corkum. High slot. Obviously a little traffic in the face of McLennan. 1-1. Everybody loves a good hit. That's a good hit. Jamal Myers and Aki Berg. Third period, 2-1 Kings. Jeff Finley finds Mike Eastwood. Stefan Fosse, no helmets, no stick, no chance. It was 2-2, and that's the way this ball game ended after the overtime settled nothing. Of note in this one, Pierre Turgeon's 15-game point streak comes to an end in the 2-2 draw.
To the Thrashers and Sabres, Miroslav Shetin leads the Sabres with 15 goals this season. Shetin adds to his total early on. Michael Grosek to Shetin in front, scores his 16th, and it's 1-0 Sabres. David, you like passing? Watch this. Pekka to Woolley. Stu Barnes to Shetin to the back of the net. How do you stop that? Sabres would build a 4-1 lead. But cue the comeback. 4-2 Sabres. Andreas Karlsson shot, hits the post. Ed Ward hits the mesh. 4-3 Sabres. Early third period, Ray Ferraro with the shot. Denny Lambert picks up the rebound, goes to the backhand, converts. Game's tied at 4. Just over a minute remaining. Chris Tamer with the shot from the point. Jason Botterill still looking for his first NHL goal, and look, there it is. Somebody get him the puck. The Thrashers win. It was a game-winning goal. 5-4 your final. Buffalo has now allowed 23 goals in its last 5 games.
Well, I'll tell you what, Roberto Luongo has allowed just 1 goal in 2 games versus the Bruins coming into this one, but this was not Roberto's night. How's that for a goal? Wow. Joe Murphy from outside the blue line. 1-0 B, second period. Tim Connolly sets up Claude Lapointe, who gets one back for Roberto. It's a 1-1 game at that point, but back come the Bruins right off the draw. It's going to be P.J. Axelson from in close, beating Luongo. 2-1 Bruins, and they continue to pour it on. Luongo is going to let in another weak one here. Axelson's second. It was kind of a knuckler. The puck was rolling, but nonetheless, it's 4-2. And then watch this. Joe Thornton from his butt snaps it home. It's a great goal. What do you think? Great goal or beauty? It's a good goal.
Beauty.
Yeah, I think so. We can't blame Roberto on all of these ones, but he did not have a good night. But the Bruins needed a win in the worst way. It was their first win in their last 8 games, while the Islanders have now lost 4 straight. That's the hockey story, but stick around. Straight ahead on the desk, Damon Stoudemire makes his return to Toronto to face the Raptors.